Well, hi there, guys. This is Friday, the day number 5 of my 5 days in a row Facebook Lives. And this time I am featuring the Retiring in Color Lovely Lipstick. So everyone who guessed Lovely Lipstick with my hints will be put into a drawing, and I will let you know after this Facebook Live who won. And it is a card that will be sent by me. The other way to win is share this. Mark down on here, I've shared, and you too will be put into the running. That one I'll pick tomorrow afternoon. So then, and the winner there also will receive a card, a handmade card by me. So it's always fun to get fun mail, isn't it? Lovely Lipstick. I just put away the grosgrain ribbon. These are all the other accessories, the markers, the blends. Love these, hint, hint. The stamp pad, and my favorite here, the enamel, the Happiness Blooms enamel dots. And I'm trying to find room to put all my stuff here because I have a big mess on my desk. A one sheet wonder is what we're going to be doing today, like we've been doing all week. This one looks intimidating. Please don't let it. All right, I'm going to walk you through it. It actually makes 4 cards, and they are all the same. So I'm going to show you how to do one of them, and then show you the other examples that I have of them all made up. I'm not going to bore you with doing all 4 cards. So looks like a lot of lines, a lot of cutting, but let's get into it. I'll walk you through it. Don't worry. I took this, I didn't mark it on here, but right here, this was my cut first here, and it's going to be just at 3 inches, so right smack dab down the middle. So all right, let me bring in my cutter and let's get going on that. So I'm just happy to see everyone here. Hi Sandy, good to see ya. And so let me go ahead and do the cut right down the middle at 3 inches. Okay. Like I said, I will have these on my blog, lindaloucreates.com, so don't worry about that. I'll have pictures of all of these one sheet wonders that I found. A friend of mine made this up, had it on Pinterest, so I thought I would take it from her. So, all right, now this piece that's 3 by 6, I'm talking over in here. What I'm going to do is turn it, cut it at 3 again. Then let me put them together, and I'm going to cut them at 1.5. So there's my 1.5. Okay, move it over just a little bit. So here will be 4 pieces that will measure 3 by 1.5. Okay. One of the things that makes this one nice is the fact if you have the 2-sided paper. One thing too is try and make sure that your writing is going, or your dimensions, if it's directional, that's the word I wanted, sorry, is going the right way. And I will show you that in a moment, but just kind of make sure that it is going up and down. Portrait, is that right? Yeah. Okay, so that's kind of the little sticky point with this one, is just to make sure you have the direction going correctly. So, all right, you don't have to on some of them, but because this is words, I wanted to make sure that I did that. All right, now here's my other half then that is 3 by 6, and let me show you something fun here. The first thing I'm going to do is cut it right across here, and this is at 1.5. Okay, so 1.5. So let me turn it, if I can get my, goodness, my fingers don't want to work. I think all this hand washing and everything has made them so dry that yeah, it's just nuts. But anyway, so now I'm going to cut this piece again at 1.5. So I have a 1.5 inch square. Okay, I told you there's a little bit of extra cutting on this one. It's a little bit more. Now the next thing I'm going to do is turn it on the diagonal. Make sure those points are in the right here down the center of your trimmer. Okay. And cut them. You're going to do that with both squares. So now I have these two. Okay. Let me do it with this one. 1, 2, there we go. No, we don't. There we go. Okay. All right, so I have those two now done. All right, so here's my last piece. This measures 4.5 by 3. I am going to cut it into 4 3/4 inch strips. Now, what I love about the trimmer is I can extend this over to this side. There are measurements on this side, and that's where I'm going to find my 3/4 of an inch. And it really just makes it a little easier for me. I do like that. Okay, so 3/4. One more cut. And like I said, this is a lot of cutting, I know. But if you follow the diagram that like I said, will have on my blog, it will go pretty simple. All right, so there we go. So here are my 4 strips now. The cards are all the same. I changed them up just a little bit. So let me just pull out now. What we're going to do is use all of the pieces on one card. So that's how we end up with 4 cards out of this. So I have done now a layering piece then of white cardstock to go behind each of these. All right, so this piece of white cardstock to measure up with this one, the white measures 1 3/4 by 3 1/4. All right, so that's 1 3/4, 3 1/4. So let's go ahead and get that put down. Okay. Yeah, there we go. All right, this little strip that's 3/4 by 4 1/2. I have a strip now for that, which is then 1 inch by 4 3/4. Okay, so believe it or not, I am going for 1/4 of, wow, my mouth doesn't work today, 1/4 of an inch bigger on the measurements. Okay, now remember I said about having it as, I kind of goofed here. I want to do something a little different. So remember how I said about having it as a double-sided paper and how it makes it nice? I don't want to have all the same design on my card. All right, I do want to switch it up just a little bit. So give me a second here, and the goof that I made was I want to, instead on this bigger piece or on this rectangle, I want it to be the other side of my paper. So let me do that one now instead. So this is the one that I have a piece of the cardstock that's 3 1/4 by 1 3/4. I know there's a lot of measurements on this one. I hope I don't lose you, because the other ones were so easy. This one actually is, once you kind of get past all the measurements. All right, so sorry about that. This little square, what I did here, the square itself is 1 1/2 by 1 1/2 before we cut it on the diagonal. All right, we cut it on the diagonal. So what I did was then I had a square of Whisper White that is 1 3/4 by 1 3/4. I cut it on the diagonal. So now I have the piece to be able to layer it up with. All right, so let me go ahead and do that one. Let's see if I'm anywhere close. That's why I like the glue, because I can shimmy this around. There we go. here are the 3 pieces that I'm going to be using. What I'm going to do next is bring in, maybe, if I can find it. I told you my desk is a mess. All right, the card base. It is my top folding card. That means it's 11 by 4 1/4 with a 5 1/2 inch score line. Here, I'm messing with you. The white is 5 1/4 by 4. This is petal pink. It measures 5 by 3 3/4. So I'm keeping to that 1/4 inch layering there, so, or that margin. So yeah, like I said, I'm messing with you because I usually like it smaller. Inside, I have my 5 1/4 by 4 inch piece of Whisper White that I went ahead and I stamped an image. I'm going to show you what stamp set that comes from in a moment. As soon as I find it, that's why I'm telling you. My desk is an absolute mess. Here we go. This is the stamp set I'm highlighting today in my, along with the lovely lipstick and One Sheet Wonder. It's called Beautiful You. It is a 2-pack stamp set, but I'll tell you what, like I said, I looked at all the sentiments that were in it and I just thought they were beautiful. So I decided then to also, for the inside, stamp one of the ladies in there. I love it that there's the squiggly line that you can just add that in, because remember, I don't like to color because I'm a lazy stamper. So that's what I did here. Gave her a little lovely lipstick dress, and we are good to go. All right, so everything is attached down. Here's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to take my long strip. I know you're wondering, how is she going to build this up? Let me just go ahead and add some, get some of my liquid glue on here. And down this will go. Okay. The triangle here, I'm going to go with it and attach it to the bottom left corner here. Okay, so now even though my paper is all lovely lipstick, it just looks different because I flipped it over to the other side just to have that the writing on it instead of the same design. All right, so here I think I'm going to put on some of the white baker's twine, the Whisper White twine. So what I will do is I'm going to tie a knot, not a bow. Wrap it 3 times. And come with a bow on it, so, or no, a knot. Boy, it's been one of those days. I think it's been one of those weeks. We're all a little like, woo. Okay, here's a knot, and that is it, as simple as that. I will play with it a little bit so it's not just straight up and down. Let me trim my tails. The other thing I'm going to do is I have a paper piercer. I am going to get in there and kind of separate the threads, just to kind of, you might get a little bit to come out, but it just separates it, gives it sort of a fun look. Looks like you really did something fabulous to this. So let me just bring it up here and show you what I'm doing. Okay, do as much or as little as you want, like I say, to separate out the threads in here. And even if you get it to kind of fuzz out, I kind of like that look. So that's what I'm going for there. Okay. Here comes my dimensionals. So, I know everyone goes, rolls their eyes with how many I put on. I get it, but that's the way I like it. I'm going to put only 2 more on either side here of my twine. And it will now get put down onto the card. All right, let's move some things out of the way here. So, and one more. Okay. And there we go. I did grab a couple of the sentiments out of that stamp set, Beautiful You. I have this one that I then die cut out rather with the stitched shapes. I know I do that a lot, and I just used a black then for the scallop. I just thought black kind of makes everything pop. So I do have a dimensional on the one side because I'm going to put it right here. And because it does extend out over this layer that has dimensionals on, I always like to make sure that I put dimensionals on again. Enamel dots. Where did they go? Here they are. So I always have to put these on, I swear. I really do like these. So I'm going to put one. Now I know I always was saying, oh, put on 3, but for some reason 2 makes me happy here. I mean, I could put another one, but I just want to leave it the way it is. I kind of like it that way. So there we go. All 4 cards are going to be in this design. Okay. Now, one thing I did switch it up a little bit. Let me bring in the card to show you. Okay. This actually is the soft seafoam here with a different embossing folder then. But do you notice how it's all on this side, and what I did was I flipped it around. So I have the verbiage then is going to be on the long strip, so it's opposite. Same here, opposite. And the my little triangle here, it's opposite. So everything's opposite on this one. And I used the linen thread rather instead. Did the same idea as far as getting the paper piercer in there and kind of bringing out the threads, cutting through the threads. So yeah, so it's just the same thing, just on the opposite way. So let me bring in 2 more that I have made. Let me do my glue real quick. So this one here, going in this direction, this is Sahara sand for this layer, a different embossing folder. And then here is this one that I use gray granite on it. And again, all of the sentiments come out of the stamp set Beautiful You. And I just did some die cutting with either the circle or layering ovals. And these are the 4 cards that you will get out of that One Sheet Wonder. So it's very different, but very fun too. So I thought it was nice to highlight then the sentiments again, but then also bringing in the embossing with the embossing folders to add a little something. So, all right. Tell you what too, let me just show you real quick. They all have the same lady on the inside. I just kind of went down the line and did that. So, all right. So here are the cards. Thank you so much for watching me today and all the other days prior to that. They were fun. I'm going to have to do this again. If you have any suggestions as far as ideas of Facebook Lives you would like me to do, I would be more than happy to. Look, I did them 5 days in a row. You know, that I'll do it. That's fine. So I have so much fun with them. So thank you again. Let me get on then after this is over. I will let you know, like I said, who won as far as the lovely lipstick guess. And tomorrow, for those who shared, I will put your names in a hat as well for a card. Yes, you guys too. Everybody have a happy Easter. Stay safe and keep on stamping. Bye now.